The blood pressure pill you took this morning stopped working 6 hours ago. Right now, while you are watching this, your arteries are completely unprotected. And tonight, between 2 and 6 in the morning, when your body is at its most vulnerable, your blood pressure medication will be at its weakest. That is the window when most heart attacks happen. That is the window when most strokes happen. And that is the window when your pill is doing nothing to protect you. 90% of seniors take their blood pressure medication in the morning. And 90% of them have never been told what I'm about to tell you right now. Before we begin, type your age in the comments. Just your age. Because the longer you have been taking your medication at the wrong time, the more damage has already been done. My name is Dr. Whitney Cole, and today I'm going to show you exactly why the time you take your blood pressure pill matters more than the pill itself. What happens inside your arteries at 3 in the morning when your medication has worn off? And the one conversation with your doctor that could cut your heart attack risk nearly in half. That last number is not an exaggeration. It comes from the largest study ever conducted on this exact question. Stay until the end. But first, I want to tell you about Margaret. Margaret was 69, retired school librarian from Ohio, the kind of woman who kept a blood pressure journal, checked her numbers every morning at 7 a.m. sharp, never missed a dose, never missed an appointment. Her morning readings were always around 128/78. Her doctor said she was doing great. But Margaret had been waking up with headaches. Not every day, maybe 3 or 4 mornings a week. She blamed it on her pillow, then on her sinuses, then on stress. She explained it away for months. What was actually happening to Margaret at 3 in the morning will disturb you. I will come back to her. But first, you need to understand why. Your blood pressure is not a fixed number. It follows a rhythm, a 24-hour cycle that rises and falls like a tide. In a healthy body, pressure rises in the morning, peaks in the afternoon, RB and DIPS at night. That nighttime dip is critical. It is your heart's recovery window. The only time in 24 hours when your arteries get to rest. Think of it like a factory. During the day, the machines run at full speed. Pressure is high. Everything is working hard. At night, the factory powers down. The maintenance crew comes in and repairs the wear from the day. But after 60, in up to 50% of seniors with hypertension, that nighttime dip never happens. Your factory never powers down. The machines run 24 hours a day. The maintenance crew never gets in. The wear and tear accumulates, and your arteries age faster than the rest of your body. This is called nocturnal hypertension, and most people who have it have no idea. Because here is the cruel trick. Your morning blood pressure reading looks fine. Your doctor checks it at 10 a.m., says the numbers look good, and sends you home. But at 3 in the morning, your pressure is 30, 40, sometimes 50 points higher than what your doctor saw. And nobody knows, because nobody is measuring. We see you. Now here is the part that connects directly to your pill. If you take your blood pressure medication at 7 or 8 in the morning, it reaches peak effectiveness within 2 to 4 hours. By noon, full strength. By 6 p.m., fading. By midnight, half strength or less. By 3 a.m., practically gone. You are medicated during the safest hours and unmedicated during the most dangerous hours. You are wearing your seatbelt in the driveway and taking it off on the highway. That is what was happening to Margaret. Every single night, for months. If you take blood pressure medication in the morning, comment the word morning below. I want to see how many of you this applies to. Now, what I just told you is not my opinion. It is the conclusion of the largest clinical trial ever conducted on blood pressure medication timing, the HYGIA Chronotherapy Trial. 19,084 patients, followed for over 6 years, published in the European Heart Journal. One group took all medications in the morning. The other took at least one at bedtime. The results changed cardiology guidelines across Europe. The bedtime group showed a 45% reduction in heart attack risk, a 49% reduction in stroke risk, and a 56% reduction in cardiovascular death. Let me translate those numbers into something personal. If there are 100 people in a room taking their blood pressure pill in the morning, and you move 50 of them to bedtime dosing, 22 fewer heart attacks, 24 fewer strokes. That is not a statistic. That is your neighbor, your sister, you. Not from a new drug, not from a new surgery. Oh, just from changing when they took the same pill. Now, before I tell you which medications to ask about, check something with me. Have you been waking up with headaches you cannot explain? Do you feel exhausted in the morning even after a full night of sleep? Does your face look puffy or swollen when you first wake up? Do you get up to use the bathroom 3 or more times during the night? These are not normal signs of aging. These are signs that your blood pressure is surging while you sleep, and your morning pill is not there to stop it. Margaret had every single one of these symptoms. She just did not know what they meant. Now, here are the most common blood pressure medications and what you need to know about timing. ACE inhibitors and ARBs, lisinopril, ramipril, losartan, valsartan. These are the most prescribed blood pressure medications in America. The HYGIA trial showed the strongest benefit when these were taken at bedtime. Peak protection shifts to the overnight hours exactly when you need it. Beta blockers, metoprolol, atenolol. Evening dosing helps blunt the dangerous morning surge, GEM, which I will explain in a moment. Calcium channel blockers. Amlodipine has a long half-life, so timing matters less. But shorter-acting versions like nifedipine benefit significantly from evening dosing. Now, there is one exception you must know. Diuretics. Hydrochlorothiazide, furosemide. These make you urinate more. Taking them at bedtime means you will be up all night. Keep diuretics in the morning. Move everything else to bedtime. If you take any of these, comment your medication name below. I want to see which ones are most common among you. Now, there is one more danger I have not told you about yet. The morning surge. Between 6 and 10 a.m., your body releases cortisol and adrenaline to wake you up. Blood pressure spikes. Heart rate jumps. Blood becomes stickier and more prone to clotting. If your morning pill has not kicked in yet, you are hitting this surge with zero protection. This is why more heart attacks happen between 6 and 10 a.m. than any other time. Not during stress, not during exercise, hoeing while people are brushing their teeth, making coffee, reading the newspaper. A bedtime dose is still active at 6 a.m. It catches the surge. A morning dose taken at 7 a.m. does not kick in until 9 or 10. By then, the surge has already hit your unprotected arteries. The seatbelt again. You are clicking it after the crash. Here is your action plan. 4 steps. Step 1. Do not change your medication timing on your own. Call your doctor first. This is a conversation, not a solo decision. Step 2. Say these exact words. I would like to discuss whether taking my blood pressure medication at bedtime would be better for me. I have seen the HYGIA trial data. When your doctor hears HYGIA, they will know you have done your research. Step 3. Ask about a 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure monitor. It measures your pressure every 30 minutes for a full day and night. It reveals what your morning reading hides. Step 4. If you take multiple medications, ask about splitting them, one in the morning, one at bedtime. 24-hour coverage instead of an 8-hour gap every night. Now let me tell you what happened to Margaret. Her daughter bought her a 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure monitor for her birthday. Not a thoughtful gift, she admitted, but maybe the most important one she ever gave. Margaret's daytime pressure averaged 126/76, perfectly controlled. Her nighttime pressure averaged 168/94. For 8 hours every night, Margaret's arteries were under siege, and her morning pill had worn off hours before the assault began. Her doctor moved one medication to bedtime. Same pill, same dose, just a different time. 4 weeks later, her nighttime average dropped from 168 to 134. Margaret called her daughter 3 weeks after the switch and said something I will never forget. She said, "I woke up this morning and my head did not hurt. I just lay there for a minute because I had forgotten what that felt like. I actually cried." Her daughter cried too. If Margaret's story sounds like yours, tell me about it in the comments. I read every single one. Quick recap. Your morning pill wears off by midnight. Your arteries are unprotected during the most dangerous hours. The HYGIA Trial proved bedtime dosing cuts, heart attack risk by 45%, and stroke risk by 49%. Move ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and beta blockers to bedtime. Keep diuretics in the morning. Ask for a 24-hour monitor to see what your morning reading hides. Remember what I told you at the very beginning of this video? The blood pressure pill you took this morning stopped working 6 hours ago. Now you know what to do about it. And tonight, for the first time, your arteries do not have to be unprotected. Think of one person right now, the person who lines up their pills every morning in that little weekly organizer and takes them all at once with breakfast. They have been doing it for years. Their doctor never questioned it. And every single night, their arteries pay the price. Send them this video right now before tonight. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week I am revealing the 3 common foods that silently raise your blood pressure, even though most people think they are healthy. Your health is your greatest wealth. I am Dr. Whitney Cole. Take care of your heart. I will see you.